Welcome to The Story Tinker, a Webtoons and Witcher podcast for superfans with scene-by-scene analysis. Featuring sharp co-hosts for a fuller picture, we dive deep into character psychology, relationships, and theories. We'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and rate us on all podcast platforms and social media. For bonus content, you can support The Story Tinker on Patreon. Let's begin. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 128 of Estimated Messenger. And we're calling this episode the shortest episode with the least dialogue ever. But it has awesome panels, which actually I decided I was trying to figure out new segments to add to the podcast, kind of like an interesting short thing at the end. And I think we'll start off with favorite panels. So I'll ask you all that at the end.
Ooh, I like that. That's it. Yeah, I like that. Mix it up a bit.
I chose mine very fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick a different one so it's not the same as yours, but
yeah,
we have similar tastes.
Already up here.
Yeah, scooch over, Mindy. I need to see that.
Well, look, I can do the whole hand touching thing.
Just Vanna White. You're Vanna Whiting her. Vanna White and Karen White. But
All right, so we start with the episode with our moment of drama cliffhanger. Last time, Rafael's got his gun cocked to Kieran's head, and he starts pulling the trigger. Which, okay, we do have some discussion points. And I'm like,
no, we do, because I'm flabbergasted that he was so trigger happy.
Me too. Why? First of all, Kieran's in. Okay, I don't know if you recognize him as the purple hyacinth.
I don't think so.
But okay, like, you don't know who this person is. Like, why are you going to shoot him? Okay.
I mean, I know he's suspicious that he's being trailed, but also, I mean, we can safely assume that these are the 𝗵𝗲 tunnels, right? Like, these are the... So, Rafael can't be the only one to ever be using these tunnels. Like, do they ever, like, cross paths, like, in the morning, like, going on the way to work? Like, hello? So I don't know. I'm a little shocked he's so trigger happy, but it just kind of seems like Rafael, that's kind of his go-to. Kind of reaches for the gun all the time.
Yes. I feel like it might not be his go-to in the future, but that's a super good point. At first I was kind of like, oh, it makes sense, and then I was like, no, you're right. When you say it like that, like, he's gonna see coworkers sometimes,
right? I mean, if there's that many 𝗵𝗲 members, and well, not all of them have access to the tunnels, right? Didn't Kieran say only a trusted amount of people, or is that just the underworld, or is it the underworld and the tunnels? I feel like that makes
either.
I mean, I feel like, we know. Okay, that's another discussion. Are we now 150% confirmed that Rafael is a messenger because of this title? Or are we still being, like, thrown?
That's the only thing that made it make sense then in my mind, was like, oh, it might be like he's just worried about blowing his messenger cover or something like that. But then it's like, how would they know? They're gonna know. How would they know?
Okay, also, but you know how Kieran walks around wearing, like, his face covering? Rafael doesn't do that.
Well, not to mention, it's like, Kieran can walk around in broad daylight, you know, for his own set of skills. So can Rafael, though. Like, unless
he's also in the circus.
No one's
he doesn't wear a face covering in the circus. So, and he's in the...
Why all of a sudden it's like, ooh, I'm gonna shoot you. Unless in some way he knew that Kieran was sus in this context. But then again, based on later panels that we see, that doesn't fit either. So I co-sign with your suspiciousness, Lily.
I know, I'm a little...
Makes sense. Make it make sense.
That's just, okay, that could sum up purple hyacinth in one person. Make it make sense.
If I'm going to be perfectly honest, like, I think that it's just for the, like, drama factor. I don't know if it has to make sense. I really think Soph just put it in to be, like, hyped up and dramatic. Like, high risk.
I mean, it's a great dramatic moment. It's a really great dramatic moment.
Oh, it's extremely dramatic. But how many dramatic antics have we seen from people that are not based in any kind of sensical thought pattern? At a certain point, yes, this was a nice, like, dramatic twist. Personally, as a reader, I still want it to make sense because that's what draws me in, and that's what makes the content compelling, and that's what makes the arc of the characters something I'm invested in.
Yep, confirmed. So now that we've done one panel, which is we're getting there. It might be short, but
We got this. Yeah, we can drag this out.
Mm-hmm. We have Kieran, of course, dodges because it ain't over so fast. And I love the coloring of the gun, by the way. It's like this beautiful bronze copper color. It's gorgeous. And he just, Rafael is continually shooting. Kieran is, dodging away and does these awesome moves. He like flips on his hand, turns around.
That's like a little backwards handstand.
Yeah.
If we're talking about impossibilities here, my thing that I was wondering is those flips are cool and all, but how on earth is he doing that with a big sword on his side? Like
practice. I mean, to me, it's more like I'm trying to get how did he get from those three positions? He's on his butt in his hand, then he somehow flips on his hand, and then he's on his butt again. I don't really get it, but like it's okay.
I don't really get it either, but the panel's amazing.
A little harder to follow.
10 out of 10.
The sword thing I can get. The sword will move with you as long as it's like in its sheath. It's not going to stab you if you position it correctly. But yeah,
I think it's calibrated.
I tried to make sense of that in my head, and I'm just like, I'm not a gymnast, so I'm just gonna go with it.
I think it's really like another extension of an arm for him. Like I think he's just used it and trained with it for so long. Like he's just kind of calibrated all of his movements to also having the sword on him, and so I think he's just kind of used to like how it goes around with him.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense.
So and then he disappears, flips himself behind in another passageway. And Rafael's like, shh. And Kieran runs away, but Rafael runs after him now. It's not like he's not like, oh, I'm just gonna go on my business. He is in hot pursuit and he's shooting him again. I would be like, who are you? What do you want from me? Why are you here? But no, he's just shooting him.
He's a trigger happy man, I'm telling you.
Rafael is the cat of Purple Hyacinth, or the alligator, my bad. I'm gonna chomp first, I'll ask questions later. Yeah, sure, if this bullet ricochets in this gigantic stone underground tunnel, it might go badly for me, but all we care about is shooting first and fighting.
I think my theory kind of at the moment is that Rafael may be thinking that Kieran is somebody else. I don't think he realizes that he's the Purple Hyacinth for sure, at least in this moment. We like later on in some of the panels, I think maybe that may be the case. But I mean, we all kind of have suspicions that Raphael's a double agent, right? Kind of like in the Phantom Scythe, but not really 100% for the Phantom Scythe might be doing some stuff with some information. But isn't it the episode that just came out for free, actually the one where he's talking to
the guy?
Well, but he's the one that sent that guy after Miss Green, right? So he could be thinking that Kieran or this, this guy is working with Miss Green or that organization.
Right. I don't think he got a good look at Miss Green. Like he didn't see, he just saw it like
no, I don't think so either. And so I think he could be thinking Kieran is like whoever that person is. So maybe that's why he's so trigger happy at the moment. He's like, oh crap, somebody's after me, but it's not the person that he thinks that it is.
Right.
That kind of gives me a thought. If we pair together the concept that maybe, okay, so if Rafael is a messenger, right? And only certain level clearance people are allowed in the tunnels and whatnot. And even further, wasn't Kieran saying like a couple episodes back or something, there are some areas that are only for like seriously high-ranking members, like there's a headquarters of sorts underground. The only way that I can see this,
told Lauren that only very trusted members of the Phantom Scythe are allowed in the underworld because he wouldn't be able to sneak her in, even disguised, because their list is probably so short of people who they let in.
here's where it kind of sort of might make sense, is if Rafael, thinking that as a messenger, he knows every single person that would be allowed to be here. Like, maybe he thinks he's met every one of his coworkers, that he hasn't pulled a gun on, sees this person that seems mysterious. That's the only way that I can think.
But that's also confusing because Kieran apparently uses the tunnels and goes underground all the time. So,
like I said,
wearing a mask,
for a second, but that's the way I can kind of, it's the only way I can.
Well, I didn't know if they were going to recognize each other, but I mean, we can get.
I know.
We can talk about that panel when we get to it, but yeah,
it's crazy.
All right. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Rafael's like, fuck, who the hell is that? Okay, so he doesn't know who he is. And he runs after him and runs again after him. The tunnel, he swoops around the corner, he looks and he's not there. But guess what? He is there because he jumps down from on top. Somehow he climbed up.
He's got those sick parkour moves.
I know. Yes. Rafael's like, and but he's fast, he has great reflexes. He meets Kieran's sword with his gun. So here's my other question. Several times did Kieran trying to attack Rafael. I thought the mission was to like get information about Rafael, not to kill him. I don't understand. Why do you want to kill him, Kieran? Or is it like trying to do him?
I think he's just trying to incapacitate him. So maybe he can
like decapitating him.
No, incapacitate.
I was using that
to
intentionally.
support Lily's comment. There are multiple occasions on which he has brought out the sword that we have seen in previous episodes. I'm not even going to use this one. In previous episodes where he has used his sword for a non-lethal defensive tactic, so, I mean, he's given the promise that he only kills when necessary. Well, he can still use the hilt of the sword and knock him out, and regardless, he just got shot at.
That's what I was
trying to disarm him.
Yeah.
Trying to disarm him.
And
that's what I was going to say, like,
too, because if it's somebody with a gun, you're not going to approach that in the same way with a sword that you would with other people with swords.
Fine, true. Joy, you were saying something, I think?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, Kieran's probably just more on the offensive because Rafael did try to attack him. But it's like, that wasn't the initial plan, but that's what's happening now, so,
Also, there's there's like really nowhere for him to go, and the tunnel's so like long and narrow. Also with gunshots, if you're going to be running away from a gunshot, you want to try to like zigzag or try to get as far away as possible so that you're not a very close target. I mean, there's not really anywhere to go.
Right, that's a good point. Yep. So Rafael's fast, he deflects the blade, pushes Kieran back, turns around. I think he's shooting and Kieran runs away. And right, there's like a bullet on the floor, but Kieran jumps up and bounces off the wall, which is so cool.
Such a badass.
I know. And like swoops in, great expression. It looks so good. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Blue eyes and the black.
The blue, just the mask with the blue eyes does something to me.
That's a pretty boy.
So beautiful.
Shirt, wearing a nice shirt.
The boob window.
Yes. Hold on. Kitty wants to leave. And shoots him again, seemingly at point blank, right? But I'm amazed at one thing. Rafael's expression is so dead the whole time. I don't know if it's like he's like emotionally stunted, like he had to stunt himself because of like how he had to leave when he was a teenager, but he just looks like apathetic the whole time.
I think there's so much more to Raphael's story that we're going to get, and I think that he's pretty dead inside. I think he's probably had to do some really tough stuff. And that's why he's so, Also, he's so calm, right? He's so calm. He's so collected. And I mean, even though obviously Kieran is better in the fight because he's the freaking purple hyacinth, he's still apparently like he's still a great fighter and a good shooter. I'm assuming that he's a pretty decent shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think he's definitely holding his own, which is amazing.
Something
So
else.
Kieran, sorry, go on.
No, it's all good. Something else to consider as well is we talk a lot about, Kieran's training, Lauren's training, etc. for their professions. It's safe to assume that Rafael himself may have had to go through a whole different set of training to be a messenger. And I could totally see how some of that might be definitely defensive, as we can see. But also some of it might be, if you're a messenger and you have to deliver a message that everyone has to follow, crafting the way you communicate and the way you express yourself, even your facial expressions, to be something that doesn't betray as much emotion unless it's absolutely 100% intentional per the person you're passing the message from. So I can totally see him being kind of a master of his own emotions from a training standpoint as well, and not necessarily just a whole bunch of, emotional trauma, but also just as a skill set, if that makes sense.
Like having a really good poker face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I also feel like he's
but yeah.
Yeah. But I also kind of feel like he left his true self behind when he left left Will at the train station. Like, I don't think he's been his true self for probably like 10 years because he's not allowed to be.
I'm a little hesitant because like I didn't like the way, for example, the way he yelled at the man, like in the episode that just was free, 123. He's like, you better do this. And like, I don't know. I don't like that tone of voice, And obviously the way he's talking to Will, like you can see he has a little bit of sympathy, like the fact that he hugs him. But you could be a little more helpful, Rafael. Like there's something, like I guess I don't know, it seems he seems damaged in some way, like the emotionally deficient.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm excited to get his backstory too.
Yep. More hot men with tragic backstories.
Ugh, is there anything better? No.
So now we have a wonderful. What?
Sorry, I sort of wonder if Rafael is gonna end up being some major plot point, because we've been seeing him a lot in these latest episodes and getting a lot of information on him and on like him and his relationship with Will. So, and we've also been like, this season has really dug into a lot of other characters. So I wonder, and they're all interconnected somehow, especially with the being with him being part of the site. So, and also him probably would have known, obviously Will, but he might have been somewhat familiar with Will's friends as well. So I don't know if he would have known anything about Dylan. Or maybe that's just a wild guess, maybe far-fetched, but I'm guessing he's probably gonna be
a much bigger character. Yeah.
That's an interesting point, right? Like I'm pretty sure he would have known Dylan. Like he was one of Will's friends. So like interesting that he got to know his fate in the Phantom as a Phantom Side member. Yeah.
But no, I agree. I think Raphael's pretty much getting primed to be like a much larger character or like key player in the rest of the plot.
Yep. So Raphael shoots him at point blank, but now Kieran bounces the bullet off his flippin' sword. Okay, this guy's crazy.
So badass.
Whoa.
Ugh.
Right.
Twice. He does it twice.
Wait, the first. Okay, well, is this the first time or did I miss one?
Okay, no. Okay. Mindy, look at this one. So this one where he's like running like Naruto, you see the swish and it says deflect. And there's the bullet at the top of the screen, and then Raphael shoots again, and then he does this shot. Okay, this is my favorite one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he's deflected 2 bullets head on.
Wow. Yeah, he's crazy. And these bullets are like, how fast are they? They're like instantaneous. It's insane.
It's just so exciting. Like one of the many reasons I was so giddy over this episode. Not only are there just fabulous panels, I love fight scenes, especially when they're so artistically done. But it's so cool to see Kieran in like kick-ass purple hyacinth mode again. We haven't had it in so long. So long. And then I was thinking, like, we really haven't seen him fight like this ever. Because I was reading it and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. I've never really seen Kieran fight with this fighting style. Did he change his fighting style? And then I started kind of going back and thinking, like, yeah, we saw his initial murders, you know, and the stuff that he did with Loon, but nothing was really combat based. And there was like the very brief fight scene where he did have to decapitate that guy, you know, to like save Lauren. But that one was really, really, really cut short. But then there was the tower, but then again, like not combative. He just went and sliced a whole bunch of people's heads off that were prisoners. But then in the factory arc, that's when we really got to see some cool moves of his, but he was not in top form, like at all. That's when he had just gotten the shit beaten out of him. And he had a couple cool moves, but he was not at top form. But he's obviously recovered a lot more now.
His best fights were actually with Lauren, like in the beginning, right? When she was running with him, and on the rooftop when they were both ninjas and they
but like we still have never really seen him on the offensive, like by himself. We've only really seen him just commit his murders. So I just love it. I just love seeing this. It's everything.
Yep, a whole episode's worth. So he deflects the bullet and then scratches the sword on the floor. You could just hear like the chalkboard sound. It's like,
yeah.
And then he swooshes. He knocks the pistol out of Rafael's hand. This is great movement. Rafael has finally a little bit of expression on his face. He's like shocked. He has this beautiful windswept look, like it's like in a commercial with the fan going.
Where is this wind coming from in this tunnel?
Kieran's cape. But he looks great.
That's a good shot of him. That's a good shot of Rafael. But yeah, he's got the oh shit look.
Yeah, to me he looks like he's in a perfume commercial, but that's fine. And now this part also, I don't get it. Like Kieran is just like picking up the sword. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe he's so you're saying that he doesn't mean to draw the blade down on him. He wants to knock him out with the hilt. Is that what it looks like to you?
So initially on my first read, I was like, oh wow, he's just going for it. He's just on the offensive. He's gonna slice this guy's head off. But no, I mean, we've seen Kieran do this before where he just uses the hilt of the sword to knock him out. So I think that would obviously be his first choice.
Okay.
But there was something that I picked up on my second read, and I think I pointed it out in the Discord, but I thought it was really interesting in this panel that they chose to black out Kieran's eyes so that we can't see them, because his eyes are such a key feature, and it's because his eyes just glow. They're incredible, especially against all the black mask, black hair, black everything. And so I just thought it was really interesting that they decided to black out his eyes here. It kind of seems like to me that he's gone full purple hyacinth mode, and they kind of do that to basically edge out his humanity.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Because we've seen other panels before where they like dull out the glow in his eyes, so I don't know, I just thought that was a cool little thing they did.
Yeah, what do you think about it, Joy?
I don't know. I'm thinking he's probably thinking in this moment it's kind of a kill or be killed kind of fight, because Rafael was literally just trying to shoot at him point blank. So, and kind of going back to the rule of you don't kill unless it's necessary. Well, it might be necessary in this case, because if you don't somehow neutralize this guy who is actively trying to kill you, he might get in as well. So I think that's kind of, but it's most.
I don't know though, because now why would he need to kill Rafael right now? He doesn't have a gun anymore.
Right.
So I think he just needs to knock him out.
I think he's in the middle of a fight now, and so it's like And so you're not always going to, if you're in a heat of something, you're not gonna think through, okay, A, B, C, D, oh, I can do this, this, and this. Like you're thinking and making decisions and doing that before you can really blink and draw your next breath. So I don't
I think
think
Kieran's pretty fast, actually. I'm gonna give him the benefit, and then I think he's like a really fast thinker. It's just my little
I
crush.
think he kind of has to be the PH, like,
Mhm.
you know.
But yeah, I guess Joy, you're of the opinion that the sword is gonna go that way when he goes down, rather than
Instead
this
of
way.
like this way.
But yeah, but I agree with you, Lily, that I think they blacked out his eyes to show like I think especially from Raphael's perspective, this is this monstrous person or this ominous man. Like he's not seeing him as a person. But Raphael has tricks up his sleeve, literally. He has a dagger, and what's good for him. And he meets, oh wait, no, look at the next panel. Kieran was bringing his sword down. He was not bringing the hilt down. It's his blade.
Going straight for the face.
Never mind, Joy, you were right. Whoops. Okay.
See, that's what's so interesting about reading like every single panel for like the logistics of a fight.
Yeah.
That's gotta be so hard to draw.
Yep. Well, Raphael has he's grimacing, so he is expressing, he's a little anxious. And yeah, kudos to him. He just blocks it with this like tiny dagger. I'm surprised it hasn't like snapped in two, but it hasn't. And then he turns around while Kieran goes again at him. He twists and he fooshes, whatever that is. And what's it called? He takes the dagger and is throwing it at him, right? I think that's what he does.
I'm so confused.
I don't think he threw it because it's like, I don't think we see any daggers lying around in following panels. So I think he's holding it, but he's still kind of using it as a main weapon though.
Okay.
So basically what it looks like what's happening is that they're literally both turning at the same time. So like Kieran is slicing and he turns around while simultaneously at the same time Raphael is literally turning the other direction and then slices his back while Kieran's turning.
I'll go with that. It sounds good.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, but Kieran now has this like concerned look and he tries to dodge, but his back gets sliced open. And you see like his shirt, his cape opens and you see is there still a shirt under that or is that his back directly?
It has to be because he's got his, pirate shirt underneath. So basically that little knife was sharp enough to go through his like heavy military style coat and his shirt.
It was a coat. I thought it was a cape. I don't know if that's so thick. No, it's a coat. You're right.
It's a coat because it's got yeah.
That's very sharp. I use a kitchen knife and my knife is so dull it doesn't even cut vegetables.
Yeah, so it went through all that fabric and made a really deep gash.
Yeah.
That's a sharp ass knife.
Wow. So now we got a look at his scars, right? We see several things. We see his scars, which so people have shown us, various pictures of his scars, and like it doesn't always
the back comparisons.
It's like the shifting, scars.
Well, what's the X?
Yeah, so as I said last night, the X marks the spot because Kieran is the treasure.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know. What is the X? I haven't seen it before. Is it just like tailoring on his shirt?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little confused about the X. I mean, I don't know if that will come up because obviously in the next couple panels, that's not the focus, but.
Yeah, and then what is the focus is we see that little patch on his right shoulder. We have a whole zoomed in panel. We've seen it before. People have speculated that it's like we're used to have maybe a circus tattoo, but we just kind of disregarded that theory because nobody knows, hasn't said anything about being in the circus. But yeah, it's definitely significant enough that Raphael looks at it. So I think he knows something about that patch. Well, I don't know, let's hear everyone's opinion. What do you think that patch could be?
I think it could be.
Veronica wants to say something.
Oh, go for it.
Sorry, I feel like the mysterious guest over here. I apologize to the audience. I'm sick, so sometimes I cough, and I had to change my sitting position. So I look very informal right now, but I'm comfy. But yeah, I think it's safe to say, and it seems like a lot of other fans kind of seem to feel similarly. It's some sort of connection that him and Rafael would have. Like, even though he hasn't been in the circus in the same way that Bella has, most likely, since they knew each other since they were kids and they were both in the fandom side, etc., there's some sort of like different organizations and links, and it just might be something that would tip Rafael off to either one of those organizations, or maybe he actually did know Kieran as a kid. I honestly think that might be the case. I think it's also possible, this is pure theory at this point, but I think it's possible that Rafael is one of the few people who might know the Purple Hyacinth's true identity in that way. So I think for him, it might also be a put two and two together. And I'll wait for the next panel to say anything else.
Okay. What do you guys think, Joy and Lily?
I have two theories, because I don't think it's a circus tattoo that he like removed or whatever. I don't think Kieran was ever in the circus. I think theory number one is that it could have been the place where he got shot, in the flashback where he got shot when he was training with Bella. Why that would be significant to Rafael, I don't know. Maybe he was the person that was doing the shooting, but they don't recognize each other because he was disguised. I don't know. That's very, very loose, but I think that it could be where he got shot. But I also have a theory that instead of a circus tattoo, he had the runes that he had been drawing. He had a rune tattooed, and for whatever reason, that's been removed.
Yeah, I like that.
I just think it would be really interesting if it was somehow tied into those runes. Because it seems like it's some kind of protection symbol. We don't know. You know, there's just been theories on that. So it'd be interesting if somehow he got that tattooed and for some reason it had to be.
Yeah. What do you think, Joy?
So I showed this score to one of my sisters who is a pre-med major, and she says that it looks like a skin graft of sort. So basically skin that has been removed at some point. That clock is doing again.
I was wondering what that noise. I was like, is it my house? Is it someone else's house?
But anyhow, no,
you're right. It actually does, because I deal with those in the hospital like it's on occasion. I mean, I don't know the advancements of skin grafting and like the loose 1920s or whatever we have going on. But clearly they didn't have the tattoo removal systems that we do now with the lasers. So if it was just them removing a tattoo, like slicing a chunk of it, it could be some kind of graft over it.
Yeah.
I don't
and
know.
Maybe, and since Rafael is a messenger, that's basically confirmed. He might have been one of the messengers that was used for like doling out the punishments, like when Kieran got beaten up before. So, and everyone already knows that Kieran is kind of 1 foot out of the scythe, basically. So I don't know, maybe if Rafael kind of knew Kieran when he was younger, he might have been able to recognize, like when Lily theorized there was the protection rune and they cut it off him with something, he might be able to recognize something that he had done himself and maybe clue him in as to who it is that might be attacking him.
Right.
Oh, I really hope Rafael was not the person that whipped him.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking of, him in that chair. I don't know.
Oh, well, no, the not in the chair. There's like the one scene where we have him shirtless with his hair down, you know, where he's older, you know. Because I mean, maybe Rafael was dealing out the punishment, but you know, was masked, but recognized that scar on his
I'm
arm.
suddenly no longer attracted to Rafael.
Sorry, Mindy, we crushed that dream for you.
No, it's okay. I'll take my Kieran any day over
I just
torture
wanna throw
Rafael.
this
Yes,
out there,
torture.
I'll throw this out there really quick. Does anybody else see the similarities between that carving that he did and the Snapdragon symbol?
Wait, what?
The carving, yeah, I
trying
was
to remember
wondering.
the
It's like,
Snapdragon symbol. What's Snapdragon
Yeah.
symbol? Am I crazy?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
symbol of the Snapdragon.
What is it?
yeah, before I saw that people were calling it a protection rune, I had thought that it was supposed to be some crude form of the Snapdragon because it followed roughly the same lines as
Yeah, exactly. It
Snapdragon
has the
symbol.
same pattern of in and out, in and out. So I think that's just a shorthand that they would use to like establish like so and so was here or so and so wasn't, a form of communication if they couldn't get in
Huh.
touch with each other. Yeah.
Interesting.
And that
I never-
makes
I never
sense.
put that
because
together.
that is kind of, you look at some other moments in history and some other organizations and whatnot, and symbols in specific locations are used quite frequently. So it kind of followed. That's all. That's what I assumed it was, and then I compared the two images, and it's like, oh yeah.
But doesn't the timing not work out with how young
Too young.
Kieran was when he was drawing those
Maybe.
runes?
Maybe his
Was that
parent.
right?
Well, based on the context clues that we've seen with Mrs. Green and Sandman and everything else, my interpretation, and I don't think I'm alone in this, is that Snapdragon didn't necessarily die. It's still around, but it's not as in your face as it once was because of what happened with the Phantom Scythe.
I
Because you
thought
can't
everyone
help
in the
yourself to
Snapdragon,
get
because everyone
because
who survived became Phantom Scythe, though.
well, that's what it says, but how many things really truly die? So that's my theory anyway. That's what the clues kind of paint a picture of for me. So
No, that's
Yeah.
super interesting. I'm curious to see.
yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think in terms of.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
comparing-
go back and look at that.
Meanwhile, I didn't even remember that the Snapdragon had a symbol. This is why I have to do a reread.
This is why
I'm very curious about the tattoo. I have no idea.
I don't know, but I mean, it's a huge chunk of his shoulder. Like
Mhm.
that's no normal gash.
Yeah. So I do think Raphael's behavior does change a little bit after that, because basically Kieran spins away, Raphael dodges, and then he looks to the side and he sees that there's a pipe that's leaking, and he decides to go for that, right? So he decides like he doesn't want to continue with the original plan of killing him. So I do think that whatever that shoulder recognition caused, I think it made him decide not to kill him. And that's what I'm guessing. Do you guys agree?
I agree. I think he realizes that he's outmatched and he just needs to get away somehow. But also, wait, did he get his gun back?
No, but he still has the dagger, I think.
Yeah, he had the dagger, but I don't know if he picked up his gun or if the gun is like not in commission anymore. But no, I agree. I think he recognizes whether he knows that Kieran is the purple hyacinth, we don't know, but I think he definitely recognizes Kieran as something that's been involved in his past.
agreed.
So he smashes the pipe and the water comes splashing out and catapults Kieran over while Raphael runs away. It's very neat. Kieran stumbles around, he picks himself back up, looks around, looks right, left, sees he's gone, and he's like, fuck, which is our 7th word. And he says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 and 7, 21 words.
We had 21 words.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we have this amazing panel where he slicks back his hair, and it's streaming down his chest, and the shirt has just got opener and opener. And he's like, wow. I hope Lord
More.
is
Oh my
wonderful."
God. I mean, literally, this could be a poster on my wall from the 90s. This could be ad for body wash. This could be everything. It is everything. This is I remember. So wait, Minnie, did you see this on stream?
What? No.
When Soph was streaming this?
I don't remember.
Oh
I don't remember it, but I think it's possible.
No, she streamed this, and I was just watching her stream it, and I was like, this is my favorite Kieran panel. This is my new favorite Kieran panel.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, slicking the hair back, just the lighting, his eyes, his chest.
Yes,
His
he has got some well-developed pecs, at least here. It's inconsistent because sometimes we see him with like a well-developed back muscles and like and you know, like slightly rounded butt, but like usually he's like skinny, like thick skinny. So whatever. But here he looks like he has some musculature.
It's because the 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗃 outfit is so poorly fitting. That's my theory, and I'm holding to it. It's not tailored to his body, but his PH outfits, yeah, they're made
I
for
like that outfit though.
𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗃 outfit. No,
It
Does not flatter him.
place in my heart.
no.
It's so bookish, and it's actually a much different design than I would expect. It's adorable. Now the ponytail with the outfit, but the outfit itself,
No, it's the glasses and the ponytail, and like the pants are so high-waisted.
Yes.
They're so bad, and like the collar, the high-waisted collar.
All pants are high-waisted.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
You compare his other pants to the
High pants are high-waisted, okay?
I'm gonna do a pants comparison.
Right.
That's literally gonna be the next on my agenda.
I know, I'm curious. I might even read through just for that. Wait, even the panel before shows us his pants. They're on his hips. They're not on his waist. Like if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see it.
These pants are so much better fitting on him because those scenes where he's like jumping off the walls. I mean, those pants are fitting him. They're fitting well. They're well-fitting pants. These are not the 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗃 pants. I don't think he bought that outfit. I think that outfit was like loaned to him. Fandom Scythe was like, you gotta wear this, bro. Sorry.
Gotta look unsuspicious, unsuspecting. But what he says, the words that he utters, which we didn't even say, are, well, I hope Lauren is enjoying her play. I think I've got our lead. It's just like, ha ha. No, she's not enjoying the play.
The irony, but also like the man cannot get her off his mind. He just had a full-blown fight almost to the death, and he's like, what's my girl up to?
So I actually think he's being like funny because he's been like, well, I had, had a
No, he's being sarcastic. That's just my simpery coming out here, but no, it's super funny.
Well, whether or not, even if he's being sarcastic, he's still thinking of
He's still thinking about her.
Those two. I just reread maybe 3 today. The one where he comes and visits her like 2 hours after they got exploded, and he's like,
it's so good. It's a masterpiece.
I know.
That's my comfort. That's my new comfort episode. My comfort episode before season 3 was
37, 38.
37, yes, 37 and 38.
Yes.
Read those an embarrassing amount of times, but yeah, now it's those for season 3, my new comfort episode.
Yep.
Oh, but do you guys see they added an author's note?
Oh, well, he says also, I think I've got our lead, which is like, you almost killed your lead, but whatever. Okay, she says, wait, I'll say it first. The episode's too short. Okay, well, it's funny that they updated it because I was like, where was it? Where was it?
I know. I was worried. I was like, oh no. I get worried when there's no author's note.
Yeah, well, honestly,
it's still reason to worry, but it is cute how she responded.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I had a delightful time this episode. It was spectacular.
Well, no, considering the one before this was like 5 episodes worth of content.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You gotta let it breathe, you gotta let it breathe. But I don't mind episodes like this. I think episodes like this are very important. I think especially the fight scene is very important. it is something that kind of triggered some reverie, in that, you know, most of us came here for a good sleuthy murder mystery, but we stayed for the analysis of relationship dynamics and
the hot guys.
grief. So it, you know, it's still nice to have that dimensionality. Again, like we've alluded to earlier, it, you know, it's good to have these demonstrations of, you know, why should everybody be afraid of Kieran when he keeps getting beat up and keeps nearly dying?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, this is why. So those moments of reestablishing character credentials as well with physical
Yes,
action.
it was finally a show and tell instead of a tell and not show.
Exactly.
Because a lot of stories do that. So many stories do that. They just say they're invincible, they're the greatest of all time, they're number one, and then yeah, you're right, same thing.
But you have to see it, and it has to make sense too to the audience and the world that you've created.
Mhm.
So I think for the most part, this episode helped to reestablish that. And honestly, I hope we get to see a little bit more of that in the future. I'm really tired of seeing Kieran beat up. Not just because it's like, the mainly the male lead that we're rooting for, you know, still being okay, but partly because like I want a reason to, you know, just accept and fear the purple hyacinth, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just want him to get a chance to finally heal. This guy can't catch a break.
That too. His 𝗕𝗆𝗋𝗆𝗍 must be like through the roof, man.
No wonder he became such good friends with his 𝗵𝗻 doctor, because he probably sees that man every other day.
Truly.
Right? Okay, but like, guys, what do you think we're gonna get after this? Like, I think we're gonna go back to
Opera?
Opera is what I'm
I
guessing.
don't know. I feel like we might actually get a Rafael episode where he's gonna go up and like maybe have some flashback about whatever was triggered with seeing Kieran.
Oh, you think we're actually gonna get some answers that quickly?
No, I think we'll get some flashbacks that will give us more questions.
That's the name of the game. Very rarely do we get straight out answers.
Yeah,
but that would be super interesting. I mean, I hope it's a combo. I hope we flash back to Rafael maybe running away and we get some flashbacks, and then we switch over to the
opera.
What do you think, Joy? What's your prediction? My guess would probably be, if this one's super short, and I think a lot of the shortness is because there was a lot of action to this, and I would imagine that would take a lot to draw. There's my clock again. But I think we might get another kind of longish episode that kind of focuses, because now that Kieran has brought up the play, it almost feels like we gotta go back to the play and see what's happening next, and how Lauren and Kim and everyone's dealing with this woman who was killed by the 𝗙𝗆𝗿𝗆𝗍, especially since
I don't think she was killed by 𝗙𝗆𝗍𝗍.
Especially since Bella has more or less stated that she's going after Lauren next, and Kieran has always told her to be on the lookout and try to avoid Bella as much as possible, and now they're both in the same space and Kieran isn't there to protect her. But she does have her other APD friends, but I don't know.
They're in a very public place. I don't think Bella can do anything inside the...
Also, I don't think she was gonna do anything. She asks about her, and yes, it's a threatening way, but I don't think that she's planning on going after her now. I think she just wants to keep Kieran on his
especially
toes.
after she talked to Kieran. I think she's gonna keep her end of the bargain that she has with Kieran.
I think if she ended up doing anything to Lauren, it's like a trump card in the back of your pocket. You don't want to use that unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think that she would.
Unless you will absolutely win by doing that, because it is an incredibly great risk. Because as much as it's like a mutual respect thing, it's also a mutually assured destruction thing between the two of them. So she's very much aware that she will be destroyed if she does anything stupid with regards to threatening Lauren's safety.
Yeah,
So,
I only think that she would touch Lauren. I only think she would only touch Lauren if like the leader ordered her to.
exactly. It would, and even then, I could totally see her warning Kieran about it or something. And
Like, hey, I got these orders.
Yeah.
she's never gonna actually 100% just go out and harm Lauren, unless it's for a very dire reason, like an absolute either there is no other way, or she knows that she's going to win for whatever it is, by doing that. Because
I agree. I think Lauren might freak out seeing her, but I don't think that Bella would.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see like Lauren doing some, it depends on where she's at with her growth process at this point, but I could totally see Lauren like freaking out unnecessarily a little bit. I think Bella's honestly going to be there just to be there, but I wouldn't be shocked if Bella is, as Joy alluded to, behind whatever is going on with Mrs. Green on stage. Gosh darn it. I was excited to get to know that character, and I was being ripped away.
I'm with Mindy. I don't think she has anything to do with it. She just went there to assist and protect Redcliffe, and I don't think that she has absolutely anything to do with this Miss Green situation. I think that people might look at her and pin it on her, such as Lauren, maybe Naira, because she knows about the. I'm sure she does. I mean, she has to know. That's the thing, we don't know, but I mean, how could she not? But also, we don't know. That's true. We really, truly just don't know at this point.
I think when we see Naira's reaction, we're going to find out. Like, I think she'll probably give us some clues about what she does and doesn't know.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, I'm still hoping Morgan's not dead. Like, okay, I already decided against the theory that that it's part of her and Sandman's plot after rereading 123. But I'm still hoping that she is going to recover, because I really want to know her. She's like brave and courageous and creative and like a badass, and I really want her to survive and like be cool.
Same.
I really hope she wasn't like Ratman 2.0. Like, that would just be
right. And she had a great character design.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
The aesthetic.
Another hot character sacrificed for the plot.
That is a price too high. That is a price too high.
I know, she's a really cool character. Like, I got really freaking excited when she got introduced, and so I'll be pretty bummed. I won't lie.
Seriously though, and besides Sandman, she's the only other foot in the door of this new resistance thing that we're learning about as an audience. So
wait, are they called the Devils, or is this the name, or is this a location we don't know yet?
we don't know.
I don't know. So many questions. So many questions. Do you guys just read every episode and go, how is this not going to be 50 seasons?
I know, right?
Because every episode I'm like, we still know nothing.
Right. It's the tease. I feel like when we're gonna, that's why one of my major questions about Purple Hyacinth is like, are all the answers going to come at once in like 1 or 2 episodes, or is it going to be revealed over a while? I feel like everything's going to just be dump like at once. It's all going to converge, and everything.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, that could be personal preference, but
you want it to be elongated.
Yeah, or like in short spurts. Like, it's just going to be too much to digest as a reader if it's so much back to back and all at the end. I don't know. Okay, so you know how I enjoy the genre, and but I like, with murder mysteries or just mystery movies, how you don't get anything until the very end, like especially kind of like Agatha Christie. And so, but I mean, it's super fascinating because they give you the whole and then you get all the flashbacks and like all the things that you missed. And so I don't know if they're going to do something like that, but there are so many things that we still have to look at and get like Raphael's backstory, Kieran's backstory, like how the heck is Stephen as
Elizabeth.
Spy Master? Yeah, like there's just so many characters, so many things. Like they can't fit all that in like the last 3 episodes.
Very much going to correspond. It seems like 𝗪𝗀 really have established a pacing style that they like narrative wise in their work. And that's usually like something like light and breezy, start off with humor, then get into something slightly intriguing, then hype it up with an action, then a big reveal, and then a calm down process, and then repeat the cycle more or less. And so I think when it comes to once stuff starts hitting the fan, as it were, and like things do start to converge, we'll still see that pacing. So I think it's going to end up being more satisfying than what we expect in terms of just one big dramatic platter of drama.
I want the big dramatic thing. That's actually my preference.
I'm kind of with Lily though. I find sometimes like reveal after reveal after reveal after reveal gets a little like lurching pace wise, and it gets a little overwhelming. And it's almost like sometimes you don't have time to
digest it.
Right.
Well, also you don't get the impact when it's so many things at once, right? When you're like thrown a big reveal every now and then, it really smacks you in the face. Like I don't think a lot of people saw the Stephen Hawks as being the spy master. Like that was like, I was really shocked. I was really shocked. That was a real big, whoa. And I really loved that because it came out of nowhere. We didn't even have him for a long time. I love how sudden it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping we get like a couple more things like that where you're just like, oh, whoa, okay, that was like out of nowhere. But yeah, we just have so many unanswered questions, like just so many. The list is longer than there are episodes of questions that need to be answered.
Mm-hmm.
Veronica, what you said was really interesting because now I really want to reread it to like break down the story action, like the climax.
It does. You're right though. That's a really good analysis that it does follow that like kind of hill, peak, trough, valley kind of.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that keeps me reading, honestly. And what makes it such a great story too is partly because of that pacing. And in some ways, that kind of mirrors real life too. Because I mean, when you think about it, there's a season for everything. And even in among maybe a particularly dramatic season, day to day, things will still somewhat have a similar rhythm. There's going to be days where you're, walking downtown and you can't keep up with your patrol officers, so you're complaining that your back hurts. The next day, it's all about, oh my gosh, we got to chase down a criminal. Next day, it's like, gosh, we caught the criminal, that kind of thing.
No, they give us just the right amount of everything, because if it was too much action, it would be too much. If it was too much
every day,
if it was too much political, if it was too much horror, if it was too much of anything, it would be
romance even.
I mean, even with romance, I mean, I love the romance, don't get me wrong, I love it, those are my favorite episodes. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hold as much value if we had the cutesy flirty Locky moments every single episode. When we get them, they're really, really wonderful, and that's why they really, like, we just love them so much, because
it's special.
Because it's special. Well, I think that's why this episode was so cool, because I kind of appreciate how short and dialogueless it was, because it was kind of like a punch in the face. Like, we're just so used to these super, like, you scroll and 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 you literally just keep scrolling. And this one, I was kind of like, whoa, oh, okay. It made you appreciate how intensely long all the other episodes are. And so I kind of hope that it does make people appreciate how long all the other episodes are, because I think we're just so used to it and we expect it at this point.
I know, but really this is one of the few webtoons where honestly I feel like the amount of panels that you get is more in alignment with the original setup, because there was that period of time, I don't know if any of you guys remember this as well. There was that period of time where all of a sudden webtoons had like different requirements for like the amount of panels per episode or something. And some authors, you know, kept their format, and then some authors started making their episodes like way shorter, just consistently. And I like how that it is the longer moments. But yeah, I feel like sometimes also these shorter episodes work when they fulfill the need that you have narratively. And so when that kind of happens, you can keep it airtight like this, and you can shorten it and trim it and still have it make sense. And so that I'm with you, Lily. It's definitely to be appreciated that the creators of this were able to make it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool and artistically done and kind of a breath of fresh air.
I love it. I love Purple Hyacinth so much. So as our final question, what was your favorite panel of the episode? I know Lily mentioned yours.
Mindy, I hate to be a biter, but it's the last one. I've been waiting for this panel for so long since Soapstream. It is perfection. I'm 33 years old and I want to print this in a like 8x8 and put it over my bed like a teenage girl. Like, I am obsessed. It is everything. He's wet. He's pushing his hair back. His eyes are glowing. Like, it's everything.
Wait, we should all order stickers. So fast.
Oh my God, yes, please.
Her Society 6. I will. I normally don't pay for merch because, you know, I try to like save money and I don't like stuff. But yeah, I could put.
Okay, but this is the stuff we need, Mindy. We need this stuff.
I think I should put it on my I don't know, water bottle and bring it to my very conservative workplace. At all. I socially, not politically, but yeah, I work for a very religious place now, so yeah. Well, that's also my favorite panel, so whatever, we'll just have to share.
Yeah. Let me look at him one more time.
Yeah. So, Veronica and Joy, what was your favorite panel?
I think my favorite panel was probably the one just before this. I think, if I'm recalling correctly, just the one of like him standing there. And I'll be honest, my favorite panel, even though it's not technically with this episode, is last episode when he's just standing at the corner, like, always follow your nose. I'm like, oh
yeah, that one.
Another Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So clearly they love Lord of the Rings. I appreciate.
Yeah, they do make a lot of Lord of the Rings references.
So many, and they double down on it too. Like, whenever somebody comments on it on a public thread, that it's like 2 episodes later, they'll do another. I love it.
Wait, so which panel right before this one, the one where he's like,
is it that one, Veronica, where you stumbling?
The one where the water's spraying him?
No. I can't see it right in front of me at the moment, but basically any one of them just like kind of standing there, just because I love the long shots of like the entire like catacombs and the underground. It's something that we don't usually get to see architecturally. It looks so chef's kiss.
Okay,
I love it.
That's a cool favorite shot. And Joy, how about you?
Okay, so maybe I'm a bit nerdy or something, but my favorite panel is actually that long panel, like at the very beginning where Kieran is tumbling away from the gunshots. That is, I mean, I know we were nitpicking a lot about all the movements and such, but still, like, artistically, as far as showing movements, and especially as you're scrolling through it, you can almost see it see him tumbling away, and so that is actually my favorite panel.
Yes, that one is so cool.
Yeah, well, you can't really see it, unfortunately. That didn't help. Oh well. You know, why did it keep going away?
No, it went away. That one. So good.
Wow. Yes. Well, this was awesome. We had enough to talk about. So
Yeah.
Sure.
That was we did pretty good for a how many words did we say? 21 word?
21 word episode.
But did we count the panels?
We can go count the panel.
I just know we counted the words. Do we know how many panels that actually was?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Not that many.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'm counting the small ones too. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. I think it's 55.
Wait, are you kidding me? 55 and this was so short compared to the other ones?
Right?
That's like,
is
45 the average webtoon? Isn't it like 40 something panels? I could be making that up, but
Well, it might be the average webtoon, but remember some episodes for a lot of webtoons are like typically 70, and then some of them run like, 35,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's more than I actually thought it was.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, ladies. This was fantastic. It was such a pleasure.
Yes, thank you,
as
Cindy,
always,
for letting me come.
Yes, again.
Of course.
And it was so nice chatting with you ladies. Thanks for letting me simp with you guys.
Yes, please. This is always awesome, and I love it.
Yeah. And feel better, Veronica.
Yes, feel better.
Thank you. I hope so. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right. Sending good vibes to you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I felt that. I felt that blessing. I felt that
Got my
blessing.
healing nurse vibes to you. There we go.
Oh yes. Give the teacher with a whole bunch of kids.
Oh, Lord.
Those vibes. Yeah.
You need it.
I love them, but yeah. Long story. We're changing classrooms, so pray for your teachers out there, guys.
Trust me, I do. My sister's a teacher, so.
Oh my gosh.
We swap horror stories of school and the hospital. So.
Oh yes.
Thank you so much to my current patrons: Susie, Lady Libris, Lily, Jenny, Molly, Veronica, Emily, 𝗪𝗏𝗱𝗃, 𝗪𝗏𝗱𝗃, Tuggles, Ann Rose, Alexa, Misty, Joanne, 𝗪𝗏𝗱𝗃, Esther, 𝗏𝗪𝗃𝗃𝗃, Emily, Jean, Jen, Erin, Kate, Lily, Beckett, Samantha, Christine, Sadie, Kelly, Teresa, Mrs. Castaldo, Tatiana, Louisa, and Rachel. Your support is truly appreciated.